Hive 9 is the aggressive hive, but they're not too bad today. I'm getting ready to do a split here into Hive 10. The reason for the split is every one of them boxes have bees and there's no room for them to grow. So we gotta give them room to grow. Otherwise they're gonna swarm. We're gonna go through this hive and we're gonna see if we can get some uncapped brood, some capped brood, and get it moved down into Hive 10. So the bees are definitely crowded. And a good case in point is this top box is completely full of bees. So we got to make room for the bees to expand. And I can tell you, there's brood on both sides. There's larva and eggs all the way out to the end. So this is a good candidate to go over into the next hive, but I want to make sure my queen's not here. So another way you can do this, just to make sure you don't get a queen in here, is you can shake the bees off. And I'll just shake the bees off. That way I can make sure there's no queen on it. And there's no queen. So since this is a good brood frame, it's gonna come right here in the middle. This next frame is a honey frame. It's all nectar and pollen, so that's food that the bees are gonna need. So I'll shake them bees off, not all of them, just to make sure I ain't got a queen here. And I don't, so we'll move this one right next to the brood. We're gonna move some of these empty frames into there. And this will make them think that they have room. So I'm gonna checkerboard this. Now this frame is a brood frame. It's a solid brood frame. Wow. Yeah, this has eggs all the way to the outside. Eggs and brood all the way to the outside. So this is gonna be a third frame for here. I'm gonna move that right in here. And that's gonna be good for that box. I'm putting an empty frame here that they can expand into that's already drawn comb. So I'm looking for the queen. Yeah, this is all eggs. And if I don't see the queen, I'm gonna shake these bees down into the new box. Now this has a lot of nectar, so we're gonna leave this one here. The next one is nectar, so we're gonna checkerboard these. Let me grab a couple of frames from the box I'm switching in. We're going one that has comb in it, one that doesn't, comb, one that doesn't. And this is going to give them room where the bees now think that they got to draw a comb, and it'll give them room. Because I'm going to take a bunch of these bees out of here and I'm going to put them in the new box. So give me that last frame here. And you want to do this later in the day, like now. It's pretty late in the day. So I'm going to move this one back into here. And now I'm going to set this off to the side so I can now get into a deep box. And we're going to do the same thing. Only in the deep box, I got some frames with drawn comb and some frames without. And I want to get down to that deep box down below because that's the one we're getting ready to move. some bees out of. So I'm not going to do anything with this center box, which is heavy with bees and probably nectar. Leave them right there for now. And you can see all these bees down here. Separating this box, this is just loaded with bees. There's a lot of drone brood right here. And since it's separated, I'm going to look for mites. There's 2 no mites, 3 no mites. That's good. 4, 5, 6 of them with no mites. And right now I can tell you they do feel crowded because there are a lot of bees in here. So now I'm looking for a frame of drawn comb or eggs. So that's going in this box. Because you figure on a frame, if you got a frame that is fully drawn out on both sides, for every frame of bees you get drawn or capped brood, that's going to be 2 frames of bees. This one I'm leaving in there because they're repairing this one. And they got pollen going in. So I will leave that one in here. And let's check this next one. Now this is hatching brood, but there's eggs all the way to the outside, so we gotta look for our queen. But yeah, there's eggs in there, there's capped brood, there's big larva that's just starting, and I'd say these are 1 and 2 day old eggs, one standing straight up. So I do not see the queen here, so we are gonna, since this has got some eggs in it, we're gonna move this to the center. We wanna find full frames of capped brood and move half of these bees into this other box. They're really loaded. Now this is all brood that is capped, drones. Looking for my queen. And these are called Apis mellifera is the name for the bee. All right, there's 3. We'll put an empty frame next to the feeder because we're going to fill up that feeder with 1-to-1 sugar water. There's another full frame right next to them. So let's smoke them back down again in both boxes. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take 1 more from this bottom box. This is a full frame of capped brood eggs. Yeah, don't see the queen. Not yet anyways. And you can see the capped brood under the bees. And that I'm coming to the outside, you got pollen. I know the lighting's not good right now, so you won't be able to see eggs like I can see them. So now, since this is all brood, I'm putting this in the center. And now I'm just going to shake some bees in here. Once I get this together and spaced. You got to have the spacing right or else the bees build some wanky comb. All right. Now, I'll put the medium on just to keep them bees a little more happy. And I'll be shaking bees in here in a minute. And we're going to give them an empty frame that they can build. another one, then another empty. Just going to checkerboard it. And we're going to move these frames over into the center. But we're going to check to see if our queen's in there. A lot of drones. And shake some bees in this other box, because there's a lot of bees here. This is all cap brood. I'd be willing to bet my queen's here. There. So what we're doing is we're making room for these bees. Either way, it's going to be good. Whether I see her or not, they'll make a new queen in one box then and not in the other. I don't see her. I'm going to shake these bees that were on that top frame in, because I know it ain't going to be our queen. Another frame of brood that is capped and uncapped. Larva at different stages. So you can see there's the capped brood. And if you come to the outside, you can see the larva right here. That's a drone cell. More drone cells. And you switch it over, and it's the same. On the outside, you got larva going to cap brood, looking for our queen. Yeah, that is a nice frame. I might swap this one with this one. Since there's some nice brood there. And put this one in here that's empty. Just got 3 more frames to look at here, and then we'll just put this one back together. And that'll be our split completed. Look at all that brood. There's a queen cup, not charged, but they're gonna feel some room here real quick. Okay, so they're going in. So our donor hive, we took quite a few bees out, quite a few frames in the medium and the deep. I tried to take equal amounts of capped brood and uncapped brood, put empty frames in here, took bees out of the donor, stuck them right here into the new hive. I will take some grass, and we're going to stuff the entrance, because we don't want them to come out. Not yet. Because we want them to stay in there. And just to verify that they do, I'm going to put a brick there. And the reason for that is I want them to get used to that hive. And I'm getting ready to go grab the sugar water. I will fill up this sugar water with a 1 gallon of 1-to-1 sugar water. That way they get food to build out the frames, food to keep them going. And in 2 days, I'll open it up, and then they got free range, because then they'll already notice that, hey, we ain't got a queen, and the eggs that I put in there, they're gonna make one. And there's plenty of drones around in all my hives that I know a queen can go out, get mated, and make it back. And hopefully, in a short period of time, we'll have a new queen and a hive that's good to go. So, Paul from Warden's Farm, I hope this helps you out on how to do a split or how I do mine. But the main thing is when you do it, make sure you got equal frames of capped and uncapped. Make sure you give them plenty of food, and make sure you feed the new hive. The hive that's here has plenty of food and stores in it already, but the hive that you're trying to create by doing a walkaway split doesn't have all that stuff. So you got to give them the 1-to-1 sugar water while you're keeping them closed off, and they will start building and getting ready. So have a blessed day, and we'll see you the next time.